What's up, guys? So I'm going to be breaking down the new song Dua. If you haven't already checked it out, go and check it out on my YouTube channel, and hopefully it will give you a bit of insight on how I made it and what was my inspiration. One of the main instruments in this song is a piano. I mean, every love song has like a piano like in the middle of it. It just has a lot of emotion. I love the piano. I think that's what makes this song. I didn't just play any chords, so you could just play it the normal way, which is just, you could play it like that, right? I added like some tension notes as well, so you play it like, so it's almost like adding flavor to your chord, and that's basically what I did. And then I added like a filter. I really like this wow filter, and I just kind of low passed it, and that makes that, this has that tension, you know. So yeah, so we've got really basic cinematic drums here actually. Something like that. I use one of these sounds, can't remember the one. I just use like cool cinematic drums, and this is kind of like a very common trick. It's not a trick, but this is a very common thing. You layer a drum with a bass line, and it creates kind of well, you can hear it. So that's kind of like an emulation of a guitar. And if you pair that with a drum, and then you pair that with, and it just marries. And I just do a low cut on the guitar. I mean, not that people want to know, but yeah. And then I added like some harps, heavenly harps, because, you know, really basic beat. And that's kind of one reason why I wanted to show you guys that literally you can make a song with two instruments. Cinematic, just drums from Nexus and some guitar and literally just one harp, and that's it. Like, don't overcomplicate your music, which I've done many times. You know what I mean? I love a bit of tabla. Like, having South Asian heritage, obviously you can't not have the tablas. So I added like a subtle amount of tabla. So I low passed, meaning I cut out all the low frequencies. So you just got that rhythm going in the background, very subtle. And then on the hook where it breaks down, I've just got really basic. I'll actually show you. You can really hear that classical. I really wanted to make a classical feel, but I just cut some of the frequencies out, so you still get that really cool classical ghazal type of feel on the song. So I've shown you how the beat's been like put together, very basic beat, I know. Usually I actually layer loads and loads of sounds together, which is how I would usually do like more of an up-tempo type of vibe. But like song-wise, there isn't really like any formula or anything. It's just jump on the mic. I don't really use pen and paper. Yeah, usually I just write in my head on the mic. My Punjabi is getting better. My mum's full-on Punjabi, so she speaks that quite well. So I'm like, Mum, what do you think of this? Does this make sense? Like, was this? And you know, usually she can kind of give me the honest opinion. So that was kind of the major challenge with this song. But in terms of writing the song, it was just based on just how I feel. As creatives, I feel like I'm always in that kind of emotional state. That's when my best music comes out, when I'm just feeling not down, but in that state where I'm just very connected to the music, if that makes any sense. So it was mainly just mumbles on the mic or humming on the mic. So my idea of like, if you to show someone that you really care about them is praying for them rather than just buying them gifts and all that sort of stuff. Like, so that's where the idea of this song was about. I was just praying for someone that I really care about, and I hope that God can give them everything that they ask for, basically. And that was kind of the idea, and that's where the name Dua came from. I was sort of inspired by a very kind of personal issue, and I know a lot of you guys have asked me like, what was the song about? Was it based on a true story? That specific incident didn't happen, but it came out of a real situation. Someone in my family was diagnosed with something that was a terminal illness, and it made me kind of think about life in a different way. That's where the kind of concept happened, which is what would you do? What would you do if someone really close to you has been told that you haven't got that long? So I wanted to put that in the video and just show that, you know what, the only things you'll regret are the things that you didn't, the actions that you didn't take. So, you know, like, makes you really appreciate life, and that's kind of the concept of the song, and that's where it came from. So I had a few niggles, a few issues with making the song, admittedly. I'm quite embarrassed, actually, to say this. I went out and, because, you know, I got this new studio, and you guys have been telling me, like, you know, when are you going to record a new song? Let me go out and get lots of fancy gear. Like, I got this 1176 thing, and fancy compressors, and FET compressors, and tube compressors, and I got this world famous Neve 1073 preamps, and SSL G bus. I mean, the list goes on. I went out and got all this stuff, and look, they are great, obviously used in the right way. But I went out and I used all this gear, and I recorded on a new mic. Also, I bought a new mic, same mic that the Justin Bieber used and Beyonce used on their new album. I won't say the name, but you could probably see some shots of it. Great mic. But I went and recorded the whole song, and I sent it across to my team. And I was like, what do you think? You know, I used all this gear. I used the Michael Jackson's famous vocal chain 1176. You know, he recorded his Thriller album on using that compressor. And I sent it to the team, and I said, what do you think? And they were like, dude, this is... it was better before. So I was really disappointed. I went and I went out to such great lengths to thinking that, you know, it's not trying to get all this gear. But I realized it's not even about the gear. Like, it's not even about having the best mic, the best compressor, the best, you know what I mean? It was just, I think I recorded it on like some, oh, there it is, yeah. I recorded it on like a £100 mic, you know, and for some reason it sounded better on a cheap Chinese mic than it did on all this fancy gear, you know. So that's why it took so long to release the song, because I was like, how is this possible? So this track is quite personal to me, and I also wanted to show you guys what I've got coming on the album. So it's kind of like a little teaser for what you're about to expect. So yeah, look out for the album coming soon, and go and check out the video if you haven't already.